coming your way. We're gonna dazzle you with our play. The time has come. You know we're shooting for number one. With thunderbolts and lightning, we'll light up the sky. We'll give it all we got and more with the supercharger drive. Woo! San Diego supercharger, San Diego charger, San Diego supercharger, San Diego.
It's 9:30 on a Thursday night, and you're tuned in to Beltway Radio and Beyond, which can mean one and only thing. This is Chip Chat. I'm Chip. Who are you, Tez?
Hey, you just told him, buddy.
All right, so if you hear my miserable sounding voice and that different theme music that you're not used to, what was our theme? What was the theme music tonight, Tez?
That was the San Diego Superchargers theme song.
That's
from the
correct.
70s.
Of course, and you're playing it to troll me about what? Are you more excited that you won the bet, or are you more excited at my sadness?
Neither.
Okay.
I'm excited that your favorite coach gets a chance to go back and, try to win the big one.
He won the big one. He beat Ohio 3 times and won a national championship.
That's the actual big one.
So, okay, what he's talking about is that St. Jimmy of Ann Arbor is no longer of Ann Arbor. He is moving. He's moving west to San Diego to go coach the Chargers.
L.A.
No. Find me one person who knows that they've moved to L.A. Even the people on the broadcast are like, first down San Diego.
Yeah.
They're San Diego. Also, San Diego's in L.A. You didn't know that. It's right next to it. It's as close as Luton is to London.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. That close.
That's a soccer joke.
That is very, good luck.
Okay, anyway, yes.
Sorry. I told you. We told you. Brian told you.
You told me, Brian told me, literally the second it broke, my phone would not stop buzzing with people texting me to say I told you so. Or like pictures of the Adam Schefter tweet or whatever.
Wow.
Like, and it's like, guys, I didn't think you were wrong. I didn't want to believe it. And I was just going to keep saying the opposite until I couldn't stop it any longer. And you know what? Frankly, he didn't go to San Diego. It was rigged. And he's still coach in Ann Arbor, and Michigan is the greatest. And
March 3rd is coming up. That's when he really becomes the coach.
Jim Harbaugh's still there. So anyway, all right, we're gonna talk about that,
of course,
because I kind of like banned everybody I knew from talking about it today. What is it? Yesterday? It happened yesterday afternoon, or yesterday at 6 o'clock or something like that. So I told everybody, like, I don't want to talk about it. People at work were like, so I was like, no, we're not talking about it. It's too raw, and I'm too sad and too. Angry is not the right word. I'm definitely not angry about this because I want him to be successful. But anyway, so
you just won the national championship. It's hard to be angry.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, exactly. It was like me after the friggin' Nationals won the World Series. Like,
yeah,
whatever. I'm riding.
So
this
a number of my friends reminded
we've come to the beach.
Yeah,
we're just sitting on the sand waiting.
A number of my friends reminded me that I shouldn't be too upset having just won the national championship, and then I can kind of ride that for like 30 years or something, because that's how long it was since the last time we won a championship. So,
and I don't know what next year.
It's like 4 systems ago too, by the way.
I don't know what next year looks like for you guys with.
It's not going to be that good
because do people jump?
Well, the transfer portal is a whole mess,
right? So.
But the Alabama quarterback transferred to Ohio. You know why? Because he's addicted to losing to Michigan.
Okay.
He needs to do it again.
Okay.
It felt so good.
I don't know. You guys could go back to the dark ages.
Why? Because our new head coach is black? That's racist.
Oh, God. Wait.
Damn it, Tez. We've come so far in this country, and you pulled us back.
You're the one who has him in the big house.
Damn. Yeah, but it's his big house.
Okay. I don't know.
He's running the show.
It's his big house.
Our AD's black, too.
Tell the boosters that.
Our AD's
Yeah,
black.
it's fine.
Our president's Japanese and something. His name is Santa Ono. That's a lot
Okay.
of stuff. It's
Yeah,
many
man.
boxes checked. I don't
Michigan.
see that over at Ohio.
Oh.
All right. So anyway,
Yeah, we'll get to
Harbaugh's trading in his maize and blue for a lighter, fluffier yellow and sky blue.
Yes.
It's basically the same colors, but a little bit younger or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's younger.
It's growing.
Well, they do have that alternate kind of.
Yeah, that darker.
Yeah.
Right. They have that darker. That was like that sort of late '90s
Yeah, so
Chargers?
you could
Yeah,
probably make
so
that
yeah,
as the
yeah,
primary.
when they were the bolts.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. Heartbroken, as I can say. This week, a lot of people paid attention to New Hampshire. Did you know there was a New Hampshire?
Yes, of course I knew it was a New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Well,
New Hampshire Avenue.
yeah, that's
I'm
true.
al-
It's one of those diagonal streets
I'm always on it. It stretches far from D.C. all the way into the depths of Maryland.
into Aspen Hill.
Yeah, far, far.
Yeah.
No, of course I knew there was New Hampshire. Yeah, we were wrong. I was wrong. I said I thought,
Well, we're gonna
I
talk
thought,
about the New Hampshire.
she
Also,
doesn't think that I was wrong. Or anybody else is wrong.
no.
She's a good spin on this one. She's about to. I don't know. It's gonna. We'll wait. I'll wait. But
We have thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Okay, if you notice, we're drinking, or I'm
Yeah, you got a Budweiser.
I've got the King of Beers here tonight. This is going to show up later in the show.
Don't worry, America. I'll be back next week.
Yeah,
I'll be back next week. I've had water. Look, I spiced it up today with a ginger ale.
there's been a noticeable damage to the economy from your lack of beer purchases.
Crazy.
Kai Risdall was going on about it. He's like, look, consumer spending has been up except for this one area around D.C.
Yeah.
Anheuser-Busch is sad.
Everyone.
They're not moving enough product.
Look, I have hop slams on ice. Like they've just been sitting.
Where are you finding them?
I haven't found them. I found
These are the ones that
I found them once right before.
These got to be last year hops.
Yes, last year 2023. I got them or maybe like the middle of December. I was walking through. It was like one of those times you went to
Yeah, because you
Costco's.
texted me and you're
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah,
I was like,
I found
this is-
Hop Slam, and I was like, get it.
They had everything in there, but I couldn't. I thought they would continue to have them. They got
Somebody
cleaned
else
out.
noticed that you got them, and then they went and
got
cleaned them out.
They had everything. They had the Mexican Cokes. They had the Coca-Colas, obviously. They had the freaking
Not obviously.
I know, right?
You have to clarify it.
I
It's
know.
not obvious.
That's what Greg Abbott keeps saying. It's
Yeah,
coming
that's
across
right.
the border.
Oh,
It's
we're
not.
going to talk about that.
They had that. They had Hop Slam. They had they had like.
You were in heaven.
I was like, oh my God, Costco says everything I want.
Arsenal jerseys.
Right, exactly. Right next to the
It was all of the Tez things at once.
Kirkland Arsenal.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Kirkland's best. It's
right.
it's Gunners with an A.
Yeah, but no. Next week I'll probably be here with some Hop Slam.
All right. Well, if you do, then I owe you 2 6-packs of Hop Slam. So either you're gonna have to wait till I can get my hands on it, or you let me reimburse you
I'll
for the
wait
ones that you already got,
You know what?
or
Just
I
be on
can
the
find an alternative. Because
There's lots of
there's lots of great beer, obviously, but in our show depends on Hop Slam because it puts the slur in.
exactly.
So it's a great.
Taking that.
I don't know why the bells call us.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's such a great tagline. Hop Slam, it puts the slur in.
Yo.
And then they go, who?
Exactly. Oh, that was so
All right,
good.
so Greg Abbott refuses to stand up for Texas, which we're going to cover, and, a bunch of other things.
Yeah,
It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
We don't have a guest tonight, so this
Which is
is going
kind
to
of
be
it. I
a
don't
heavy
know.
DJ to ourselves night.
We're leaving on time tonight, Brian.
Shit.
So never mind. His name's on the show, so if he said that, then we're not leaving on time.
I would say you're half of this show, but
No, that's not true.
you may be a 10th at most.
Not, yeah, it's being
You
nice.
put a couple
I did
stories
put some
on.
stories in today. Look,
That's
and-
good.
And I was here
Yeah.
before 5 minutes to showtime.
It's like a record.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have your word?
Yes, I do have a word. I guess it's kind of like 2 words.
Oh, it's okay. We can try to slam them together anyway.
There we go. Hop slam them together.
Yeah, there you go.
More free marketing paid for. Anyways, I've
If they paid us by sending us a case of this every so often, would we continue to? We would talk
Every-
about Hop Slam
every-
every minute.
every break would
Yeah.
be sponsored by Hop
Yeah.
Slam. I'll just come up with the copy
You're
on the
listening
fly.
to Chip Chat, brought to you by Hop
Hop
Slam.
Slam.
Yeah. By
Hop
the
Slam
third,
Radio Network.
by the third break, by the third break, we'd be slurring.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so do you have your word?
Yes, I still have the same one.
Okay.
I could have easily forgotten it.
So, sit back, grab some.
Lombardi trophies.
It's meatball time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping up?
All right, so we have a list time tonight.
Yes.
But we have to talk about this thing. So as you can tell by my despondent tone and affect that Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan, leaving Ann Arbor for San Diego. And while this signals, it was Budweiser. Not
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Hot Slam. If I was Trump, I'd use like signals and singles.
That's such a mean move. To just say.
It's so funny though.
Sorry.
While this signals an end to an era, we are pleased to say that he is leaving the program on top, having built a robust system that will likely continue producing championships in the future. He also leaves his second in command, Sharon Moore, who is only 37 years old, I would like to point out. So if we give him a long-term contract, that's dynasty territory. If he can continue this on, and he's got the time, which he does, he's not one of these old geezer types, you know, it leaves Moore at the helm. Moore, having beaten Ohio senseless, has already pre-qualified for the job, in my opinion. That's literally the only thing he needs on your resume. What's your resume? I beat Ohio. You're hired.
It is that.
That's your only job.
It's just
you
that.
have one job in Ann Arbor. It's beat Ohio. I really couldn't care less about the other 14 games out of the year. Just beat Ohio. The only other possible successor, of course, is me.
What?
There's nobody on earth that loves Michigan football as much as me, except for Jim. And he's in San Diego now. But it is very cold in Michigan, so I might not take the job.
Yeah.
You know,
keep that shit.
I like being there. I got to say, I don't mind it for periods of time. I don't think I could be out there like running practice, you know, with icicles hanging off my beard.
Don't worry.
I can't.
Soon it's going to be
do
where we
it.
all live when it's the only habitable place on Earth. You're in North America.
Hopefully Ohio floods first. It's got two lakes pointed at it, you know, because it's downstream of them. The river flows that direction. It flows from Michigan down into Ohio. So, you know, we're sitting pretty. It's going to be great.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch out, Canada. Okay.
Is that a threat? Christ.
You can threaten Canada all you want. All they do is apologize at you.
Oh, that's not
Hey,
nice.
Canada. Sorry, eh? All right. You know. So here's our list. Anyway, this is a list of things that Jim Harbaugh gets to do now that he's heading to California. All right, you want to take the first one?
Yeah, we got, so number one, win Jeopardy at home, having an Eastern time zone pal, Connor Stallions, to send him the answers in advance.
That's right.
Is Connor going to be dressed up?
No, he's just going to watch Jeopardy so Detroit's in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
So he can watch Jeopardy on time there and then just call Harbaugh with all the answers. And then when Harbaugh watches it in San Diego,
He can just be
at home, he's going to look like a genius. And his family's going to be like, how come you know all this stuff? And he's going to be like, the chickens told me.
Well, a coach with the integrity of Harbaugh would never do anything.
He would never do that. But Connor Stallions went rogue. And he could do it again.
Always need a fall guy.
Prove it.
Ugh.
Okay. Reason number 2, he's moving to California. Obviously, better tacos.
Yes, come on now.
That's a given.
Insane. It's just
Yep.
not even competition there. Number 3, able to keep raising his chickens outdoors all year long.
That's true. Yep. He's a big fan of chickens. He's got a couple.
A recent fan
Dozens.
of chickens, might I say.
Yeah, the chicken story is my favorite. Well, it's one of my favorite things about Jim Harbaugh is that he self-corrects.
Yes, he does do that.
He made an error in judgment, and he went and took time out to correct himself on the error publicly. And like put the same intensity he puts into football into everything, including raising chickens. Yeah. So there you go. His chickens do laps. Did you know that?
Of course they do.
With his kids.
Yeah, exactly. Halloween.
Okay, he's number 4. He's much further away from Ohio.
Yep.
So that's good. The air's a little cleaner.
I mean, that is probably
I don't know. The LA suburbs not as bad as it used to be. Well, when it's not on fire.
That's gonna say, that's where it gets tricky. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be equal.
All right, we'll get the EPA on that.
Yeah. Well, all right. I don't know if only for a limited time only.
Right, yeah, maybe, possible. Never gonna have an EPA. I've never met the EPA. All right. All right, number 5, yeah.
California's more intense sunlight will allow him to wear bigger sunglasses.
That's right.
He's gonna have those friggin' fucking Easy-E fucking shit.
Yeah, he's gonna have like the
ones that people wear when they just had eye surgery.
The Elton John.
Oh, another.
Like giant.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm after. All right, and let's see. Number 6, he's got a chance to draft much of his former winning team and keep on winning.
This is true.
Yeah, I don't think he will, but he could. It's theoretically possible.
Right.
Okay, and the last one.
Number 7, holding on to the fact that he'll have to go against his brother again, probably this Thanksgiving.
I didn't write that one. Yeah, we know.
Of course. Yeah.
We knew that. That's the Ravens guy over here with his lower class Harbaugh.
Wow. What?
Who beat Jim in the Super Bowl.
What? I'm like,
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, what are you talking about?
So he
has what he wants.
Here's how much I love Jim Harbaugh. I do not like the Ravens. Like, I think that's clear.
Foolishness.
I don't like the Ravens. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm saying I don't like them. I have lots of reasons of which we don't have time to get into. But
Johnny Unitas and friggin' come on, we don't.
No. That part I don't.
You care less.
It's the thing.
Mayflower trucks leaving, you don't care about.
No. That I think is. I think that was awful what the Colts did to Baltimore, and I think that they deserve to have a football team. What I don't like is all of the people who were Washington fans who are from the Washington suburbs who adopted the Ravens because they technically live in Maryland.
Washington, Baltimore, D.C. area. That's the area. It's Washington, Baltimore.
Yeah, but you can't be from like
always been that.
Waldorf and be a Ravens fan and like you're not geographically that.
You'd rather them to be a Cowboys or an Eagles fan?
No, I would rather them stay being a Washington fan.
I'm asking questions now. I'm asking questions.
I want them to have the same loyalty and suffer the same way I do by sticking to their team.
There's the stupid shit right there. Exactly. Fans thinking that they need to suffer is some of the most loser shit
It makes the winning feel really good.
That's
Let me
cool.
tell you. You see what my shirt says? You know how good this feels having lived through the Rich Rod and Brady Hoke bad times? It feels that much better.
Okay. You know what?
If you're Alabama, you're just used to winning. If you're Georgia, you're just used to winning.
Sign
it doesn't
me
feel
up.
Nah.
Because let's say the day when you become used to winning, you're not going to be clamoring.
No, I'm definitely going to be lording that over everybody
so
and talking dynasty.
Let's just get to that point earlier.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
Here's the thing. I went to the Arsenal Everton one, so I get emails from M&T Bank Stadium. My ass, first of all, was definitely looking. That's gonna be history on Sunday, and I'm waiting for everybody friends out there who can't make it. Go ahead and flake so your friends can go on StubHub and drop some tickets at the last minute for some dirt cheap prices, and dirt cheap for the AFC Championship is like under $500.
Yeah,
that's dirt cheap. If I'm being honest, that's the dirtiest cheap you're gonna get. But if I see something that's available, I am going to see the Battle of the Blacks in Baltimore. I am going to see that shit because Kermit the Frog.
You want to say it that way?
Kermit the Frog versus friggin' hey, we don't mind. That might scare people.
I don't know about that.
It's the Battle of the Blacks. I love it. I love it.
The
It's the battle of
Irish,
the blacks.
Irish black guy versus the American black guy.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying. Y'all see Mahomes, daddy. Y'all keep doing that to him. And I love Lamar. Lamar is just, he's amazing. Come on.
The evolution of Lamar from like playmaker, mobile guy to now Peyton Manning, where he doesn't leave the pocket.
And if you listen to the guy who drafted Peyton Manning and the GM over there, he said that he could never play quarterback or need to go play a different position. So, you know.
What I'm telling you,
He won GM of the year, I think, friggin' 14 years in a row. Some weird shit like that.
let's roll this back to the Harbaughs here. Is that part shows how clever John Harbaugh is, that he is really coaching a radically different team now than he was 4 or 5 years ago,
Hell yeah.
based on the way the quarterback plays, but still making it a tight end based team. And that is really incredible. What I wanted to say, why I got onto this tangent, which I didn't want to be on,
We're talking Ravens.
is
Hey.
I love the Harbaughs as a family so much that when John came to Baltimore, I decided to hate the Ravens a little less. And that's a credit. So good on the Harbaugh family. And you know, I wish Jimmy well in San Diego. And you know, I was a San Diego sideways fan while the whole Norv years, so that's fine. They were Washington West.
They were definitely the Washington West.
So you know, good luck.
All I'm saying is
You can always come back. You can literally just show back up and we will just give you your job back. You don't even have to interview. You can just come back. Your keys will still work. Your badge will not be deactivated.
you will retire in the NFL.
You think so?
Yeah.
What if he has a struggle there? He has a miserable time.
He's not going to struggle. I don't think he.
Well, what if he does? He can always come home. We will never, ever turn our back on Jimmy. Like he can just show up. I'm serious. Speaking as the AD of Michigan, I would. You can come back. You can undo this whenever you want. We're not mad at you. Brought us the natty.
Jeez, oh God. All right, there it is.
I hate you guys. All right,
Yeah,
here's
there
what we're
we
gonna
go.
do. We're gonna
Finally,
take a break.
Finally.
When we come back, we're gonna do the rundown. You're having some sort of listening experience on some sort of show on some sort of network. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping up?
I would like to point out, I still look at the wall to make sure I get the name of the network right.
Luckily I have it straight ahead at me.
It's been a year.
That's fine.
Oh, also, happy birthday to Beltway Radio.
Hey, woo!
We crossed the year. These idiots that run this network managed to keep the lights on for a year.
Hey, you guys, kudos.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I just moved numbers around on a spreadsheet.
Hey, look, sometimes you need someone to do that.
Also,
sucks.
we're coming up on Chip Chat's going to turn 9 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Just to let everybody know, we expect a Hop Slam cake.
There you go.
Our loyal listener will
Yes.
definitely bring
Please.
us a cake. All right, so now we've come to a part of the show called the Rundown. This is where I tell you about some stuff that's going on in the news. If we were professionals, it would sound something like this.
Stay off the weed.
Duh.
I love that.
From Beltway Radio and beyond in Washington, D.C., I'm J. Scott Smith, and this is the part of the hour where I tell you some stuff that's going on in the news.
Shout out to Jay and the Lions.
Yes. Oh God. He makes me
Okay.
ecstatic.
Oh, he is like
Yes,
flying
he's-
high. Then he has to like get on TV and do his regular reporter job.
And act like I'm just straight man.
He has to be just the facts, man. And like, you know what he's thinking.
Of course. Come on.
He's screaming. All right. This one is called There's a New Hampshire. So as you might know, in case you've been living under a rock, there's a primary going on, or there's a contest to see who is losing to Trump in the Republican race. This thing is an exercise in futility. There's just absolutely no point to this.
But at least it's happening.
This time,
Yeah, exactly.
enjoy it now. It's the
Exactly.
last time.
It's not.
We're laughing about it.
It's not the last time.
The eternal optimist.
There's some numbers in here that make me think it's not.
Okay, so what happened was there was a primary in New Hampshire. It featured really only 2 contenders. It was the Orange Menace and Nimrata Haley. That's her actual name, by the way. Which I'm very shocked that Trump hasn't been calling her that.
He's been
He calls her bird brain, and he's got some other sort of like vaguely
He's dropped it a couple
ethnic
times.
sounding thing. But he hasn't really got on that yet.
No.
Not like the Barack Hussein Obama.
No, he hasn't went yet.
But it's coming. Just to let you know, Nikki, it's coming.
She was my ambassador.
Yeah, right. She was a terrible choice. I never should have hired her. I was fooled. No, he wouldn't say that. He would say, like, I thought she was great. She's not so great. Her dress, it looked very fancy. It's not so fancy. He did say that.
This is not going to work for the listening audience, but someone put out a tweet where it's like he has one hand gesture whenever he's talking about a woman, like a younger woman runner, and he's just like
He does this. He does this. He does the hands. He does the hourglass hands.
Yes, it's crazy.
Any woman, it doesn't matter
It's
what
really
they look like,
crazy.
but any woman who's younger than he does the hourglass
It's
thing.
crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so the contest was between Trump and Haley.
Yes.
And Trump trounced her by 11 points. Haley got on the stage right away, basically, like within a minute of them calling this race, and goes, "We did really well. We're getting some points. We're gaining
This is
momentum.
what we want. We're right
We're
where we
in a
wanna be."
2-person race. This is where we want to be. On to South Carolina.
My whole
Thank
state.
you, New Hampshire." And left like it was a victory speech.
I tell you, it was a weird spin.
Where do you think she learned to do that shit? From her former boss, who always, even when he lost
Yes.
Iowa last time,
yeah.
and all of these other things. So then he eventually he gets on stage to do his victory speech, and out of the gate, he goes, "We've won New Hampshire 3 times. We won it in 2016. We won it in 2020, and we won it in the general election." No, you didn't ever win it in a general election. And like it you didn't need to say that. You didn't win it in 2016. Like, you're not. What are you talking about? There wasn't a primary in 2020, you fucking moron. And he didn't win it in the general. So he said he won it 3 times. He did not win in New Hampshire
Doesn't
3 times.
matter.
By no,
he just continues.
he just says all these things. And then later in his speech, he went back and recounted all of the times that he won it, including a general election that he didn't win. And all of his people cheered. Nobody was like, hey, wait a minute. No, they don't care. That's what I want to talk about tonight. But let's just get through some of these facts. Trump, he won. He'll need a broad coalition to win in November. He does not have that.
Does not.
The exit polling in this was really interesting because now keep in mind these are New Hampshire Republicans.
Yes.
Okay? New Hampshire Republicans want their guns. That is a thing in New Hampshire. People
no seatbelts.
They want their license plate is literally live free or die, which also was the subject of a lawsuit by a New Hampshire person who didn't want to be forced to put live free or die on his license plate. That's how committed to that thing they are.
Right.
They want gay people to be able to get married or whatever anybody wants. They are like, there's like 5 real libertarians in this country and they all are in New Hampshire. They really just don't want anybody telling anybody what to do. They're sort of generally pro let's call it left of center economic behavior. You know, they're into like social support structure and all that stuff, but they also are in a state with, like, I'm not kidding, 6 or 7 people, so they can self-care for themselves. You know, they're really small, but they just, so that's the caveat.
Right.
But the news here is what percentage of them said they would not vote for Trump if he was the nominee.
If he's the nominee, 42% said he would not if he was convicted of a crime.
Yeah, if he was convicted of a crime. 83% of Haley voters and 42% of overall voters said that they would not consider him fit for office if he was convicted. Those papers in that bathroom say he's convicted. I mean, 100%, he's going down for that.
I think the other one, though, Haley winning independents 58% to his 39%, that should be, I think, across...
It's a big story.
Across the country, like, does that happen in Wisconsin? Does that happen, because that's the only people who can flip this, right? It's not like, it isn't, like, you need to have, somehow in these next few months, we got to rally everybody up to time that this is the most important shit we had to do, and we kind of knew because we had fucking COVID going on and shit didn't seem like it was going, so it kind of made sense. Hey, I know January 6th was a long time ago. In today's, like, I guess this is just what it is at this point.
This is a young country, as a wise man once said.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a long time ago, but you can't give this guy another chance to wreak havoc. I know you guys hate Joe Biden. Everybody's like, I'm so mad I gotta vote between these two people. I don't know where this fucking unicorn's gonna come from that people are looking for.
Also, I don't know who's so mad about the situation with Joe Biden. I mean, like...
They don't like because it's one of those... I think it's almost what you said about...
It's part of this thing where people just like to say, I don't like him.
But even when you say, like, I almost a little bit of New Hampshire here, and people are kind of like, I just want something like... People want to see this country move towards kind of, I guess, the next thing. And Joe Biden and Donald Trump don't really represent the next thing. I think the policies of Joe Biden represent the next thing.
Very definitely.
But I guess people don't give a fuck about that. They don't care about these things. It's really weird. They want to go and they want a look. There's a look of what they want this country.
He cleared how much student debt?
With
the Supreme Court working against him?
But no one hears that latter is part is never.
I gotta tell you, I am not alone in seeing my feeds fill up with people I know saying that they finally got their debt paid off.
He's got to rally those
and it's
people.
Instant. And these are people who have been carrying this debt for a very long time, and it's not like they finished their payments. It's all of a sudden their payments zeroed out.
Right.
My timeline was not full of this. By the age of people I know, right? I should be seeing these messages. If it was just people paying them off over time, I'd be seeing them, every so often. I saw a flurry of them all at once, and this is not for no reason. So you can be mad all you want about selling weapons to God knows who, Iraq, for example, which we sell $16 billion worth of weapons to them every month or some god-awful number. You can be mad all you want about that, but student debt, that's a huge, huge weight on this economy, and it's gone. To a large extent, gone. The economy is growing. We got the GDP numbers today. It's 2%.
Insane.
You know, and consumer spending is good. Like, and if you don't, there was, I don't know if you heard on Marketplace today, it was this wild thing that like a quarter of a percentage point of the total growth in the GDP in this last measurement can be attributed to immigrant spending. Spending, because of the massive amount of immigration that they're so mad about coming into this country. Guess what immigrants do? They make money and spend it. That's 0.25%. Do you realize how many billions of dollars that shit is worth? What the fuck is wrong with you, Greg Abbott?
For God's sakes, look, this sounds terrible.
Let these people come here and spend their money.
Spend their money. They're going to go to work. Maybe, just maybe, they go and maybe they're able to quickly and be more productive in these jobs, specifically around farming and around where our food comes from.
They're going to buy stuff.
Yeah, maybe you start seeing these prices. Again, prices, I think, that's the place where people get hit the most with this, is that they remember a time of prices being one way and they think that inflation brings things back down, but it doesn't. Like, yeah, like the eggs about to be more expensive than they were. Yeah, welcome.
But not relative to your wages, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's
Do you
hard
not understand that this is the thing that drives me absolutely crazy? The people who produce stuff, the farmers, they don't get to set their prices, right? The market sets the prices by the contracts and stuff, but the market could not support higher prices for producers until wages rose. What is another word for rising wages?
More money in my
inflation.
Well, yes.
Inflation represents growth in an economy. If it doesn't happen, you end up with a lowest piece of currency that is so valuable that you literally can't spend it. That's why it happens.
A 9% one is a shock for people, and but like for me looking at it,
because there was no inflation for 15 years.
And that's the thing. Because every year you would hear the Fed would always say, "We don't know what to do. We can't move it." Like that's how you could keep the interest rate at zero for so long. Because again, they couldn't figure it out. They're like,
if you amortize that 9% over the last decade, it's 1% a year. Shut up. Yeah. And what you're doing is you're punishing farmers for finally getting paid for producing what they need to make. They can't afford to buy seed. They can't afford to buy fertilizer. Why? Because they can't raise their prices. Why can't they raise the prices? Because you idiots don't want to pay for it.
And I mean, on the flip side of the service industry, again, where we see those higher wages are with people who
don't want to pay for labor.
It's the bottom of the barrel. So it's like when inflation does hit, there are people whose wages do rise. I think where it's tricky for Joe Biden is that if you're in that kind of like that specifically in the middle class piece,
the actual middle
class of it,
not these people who make $250,000 a year.
No, that's not. No. Just the taxes tell you that you're middle class. Right. The way we tax you means that you're middle class. But if you're there, I think those prices are like the grocery store is the one that gets you. But gas is at $3, and I feel like when gas is at $3, it's okay not to choose the fascist. Since you think he's going to be the one to bring your gas down low. I don't know. Like again,
based on what? Also, we're at record energy production in this country. Yeah. We have never pumped more gas and oil in the United States than we are right now.
Damned.
Without issuing any new leases for drilling. It's shocking what happens when the markets work. It's not that people weren't drilling. It's that it wasn't worth it to drill. The leases were there. All of this, we need to cut down more forests and kill more whales to drill stuff. Yeah. You idiots are not even paying. You know what? I'm done with that.
Yes.
The important data here, we got way sidetracked, but welcome to Marketplace on Beltway Radio. Kai Rizal calls. You can come on our show and swear.
It's a more angrier version. We're screaming at we're like screaming at the tone. There's so many tone issues right there.
You'll believe in economics, goddammit. Talk about fascism.
Like, God damn. I'm like, got me in this damn capitalist society. Now no one wants to believe in certain parts of it. They want this. It's like so fucking weird. It's so weird. It's like, all right, shit, I want to be a socialist too, but like, that's not what the fuck I was born in. Like,
no.
I watched that.
Not wired to do that.
Not. Yes. Neither are you.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Any of these people listening, neither are you.
I'm American. I'm wired to make money. God damn it.
Go buy some shit.
How much?
What do you
I
like
dropped-
exactly?
I spent $300 the
Yes.
morning after the national championship buying T-shirts.
Thank you for your service.
Do you know how many T-shirts I currently own?
Yo.
Several hundred. I did not need any new T-shirts, but I didn't own any that said this particular
Hey,
thing
look.
on it.
Hey, please.
God bless America.
Yeah, exactly. 70% of the economy is consumer
Go
spending.
blue.
Keep going.
Go blue.
Yeah,
All right. So,
sorry.
so the interesting thing here in the story in New Hampshire is how many people were
Yes.
saying that Trump is like categorically disqualified, not just if he gets convicted of things, but that they're voting for Haley, and then they said, well, what if Trump ends up as the nominee? Are you going to vote for him? And the answer is no. And granted, these are New Hampshire
Right.
Republicans, so we'll wait and see what similar polling shows in other places that are a little less that. My read on this is that New Hampshire is a total outlier, and that generally speaking, Republicans are all in. And this whole flirtation with a centrist or less, and let's not kid ourselves and say Nikki Haley's a centrist,
Right.
because she doesn't know what slavery is.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
But like these people are perfectly comfortable with Trump, but they want to see if they can get away with not Trump. But when it comes down to it, Trump versus Biden, they're going to vote for Trump. And don't kid yourself, there are no independents in this country. When people say they're independent, they're Republicans who don't want to say so. So I don't know about this. I don't trust it.
I do believe that there are independents, because if there were not independents, right, there's no way you have the flips of these elections. Like the Republicans who you say that, those people
It's
are
about
Trump's.
people who stay home. I don't think
exactly.
I don't think people change their votes. I think it's people who stay home.
So, but I think that the folks who will stay home out of anybody would be Republicans at this point. I think the Republicans will stay home, and this independence that you say that are not there, they will be the ones to tip it. They're going to be the ones to say, nah, I don't like this. And you're right. They will move back to, I think, a more traditional Republican. Hopefully at this point, there needs to be another fucking party that
It's a two-system party.
The country has to move to that, because this Trump wing is not going anywhere. That shit is
Well,
not
they
going anywhere.
can't govern, though. One of the stories that we didn't cover the last week and this week is that Congress passed another short-term CR to get us through for literally a month. We're about to hit the end of that, and
It's almost already done.
there's only 6 legislative days when both houses are in session.
He's playing with fire.
And Johnson's cooked.
Yeah.
Like the second they get back, they're gonna Matt Gaetz is gonna go like, no, we vacate. And the margin is so thin. One of the reasons the margin is so thin is because Steve Scalise is out for stem cell treatment. Do you want to guess which way Steve Scalise voted on whether or not people should have access to stem cell treatment? I'll give you a hint. It's the same way he voted on gun issues right after he got shot. Steve Scalise
Against his own interest.
is getting stem cell treatment that he voted against. I hope it doesn't work.
That's not nice.
They're stem cells. He voted against them. They don't work. This one is called Sick and Liard. Okay. That's good.
That's really good.
All right. Trump has this lawyer who apparently is a smoke show in a bathing suit,
Oh,
because
okay.
that got posted all over the internet.
I missed that one.
Yeah, don't worry. It's only relevant to this part because she claimed that they needed an extra day in the E. Jean Carroll case, and she asked the judge for the extra day because she was feeling feverish and that her parents had COVID, and so she was worried that she was exposed to it and stuff, which she didn't mind doing maskless next to her client and, in front of the jury and everything else. So the judge is like, okay, cool, you're granted an extra day. And then the New Hampshire primary happens, and she's in New Hampshire at the party.
Of course.
Of course she is. And this guy, this young, like, I don't know what to call him, wannabe operative, guy in a suit and a MAGA hat, it's a great look,
A suit and a MAGA hat.
is really into the, let's heavy air quotes on this, hot lawyer that Trump has. And so he finds her and he gets a photo and he posts a video with her and he's talking about, look at smoke show Alina Hava here at the party. I'm having a great time. And then the campaign arm that he was working for immediately fired him because he blew up the spot where she was like, no, I'm feeling feverish. I can't go to the trial.
So much for the...
Such a fucking liar.
I mean, yeah, but like, who in the orbit? How else do you work in that orbit?
So the question is, when she
With
gets
truth and honesty.
Well, when she gets back to court, is she going to be held in contempt?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But theoretically, she could.
Could be, yeah.
But there were developments on that case today. Trump testified. He testified after the judge spent a good 10 minutes explaining what he is not going to be allowed to do. Not going to be able to relitigate any of these elections. That's not what we're here for. You will not contest the findings of the previous trial.
Because, yeah, why? Like, that's done.
Because that's already done.
Right.
We're only here to figure out how much you owe. Okay. So he gets on the stand and he gets asked a question. Did you say that this woman is a liar? And he goes, yes, I did, because she attacked me and my family and I was defending the... And the judge goes, strike everything after yes, I did. Cool. Show a picture of E. Jean Carroll or whatever, and they ask some other question. He goes, I never met this woman. I don't know who she is. She's all... Judge, stricken. Not allowed to say that. Shut up. So finally, after it was a really short time.
Yeah.
He's on stand for about 5 minutes, and then he's dismissed. And he walks out of the court, and he's walking through the gallery, and he's yelling, "This isn't even America anymore. This isn't America. This isn't America," he's yelling. He says it 3 times. He also claims, I never met this woman, despite the multiple pictures of them together.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
And also that he stuck his finger in her.
Yeah.
In a dressing room at a department store.
Sick man.
I mean, I would say have some class, but look at the man. Come on.
I mean, never mind. Exactly. Moving on.
I do feel a little bad for Alina Habba, because she probably didn't bet on this when she was in law school. And she was working hard, and she was trying, she's probably got student loans, and Lord knows she's not going to get paid for this work.
These are choices.
She did make this choice.
Some folks don't you make a choice to go into this orbit. I think even prior to him being president, through his business dealings.
Oh, sure.
These are choices you make. I mean, shit, NBC made a choice.
Yeah.
You kind of know, this man has been real consistent.
Joe and Mika made a choice.
Yeah, this man's been real
They
consistent.
put him on the air for a year.
Yeah, he's been consistent for, 30, 40 years.
Yeah. He's
never changed.
No, he's the same scumbag he's always been.
Yeah.
And all y'all are willing to get close to him.
There was a time where he was accepted.
Yeah.
The early 90s, through that, there was a time where it wasn't but we still knew what he was about. But he kind of was still a celebrity.
In the world of people I grew up with, he was never respected.
No, he's never been respected.
He was always considered a buffoon at best, and a raving racist lunatic by most of the people I knew. He's the butt of a joke. There's a Capitol Steps record. This is going way back. There's a comedy group called the Capitol Steps that was formed back in the late 80s, and the idea, these were all congressional staffers, and they were doing comedy sketches, and they used to perform. I don't know if they still exist, but they performed all the time, and they would make albums of their sketches.
Yeah.
Which I got on tapes and would listen to in the car as a kid, which is, totally normal for 9-year-olds to be listening to politics humor, but it is if you're a Washington kid. Yeah. So, they had a bit called Lurdy Dies, where this guy tells stories where he flips syllables. Lurdy Dies is dirty lies and all this stuff. And he had the story about Tronald Dump and the 3 Triddle-Lumps, which are the kids. Yeah. And him and Ivana splitting up. And I remembered this. And when he started running, I was like, oh, this has to exist. I'll find it on the internet. And I couldn't find it. And I got in touch with the Capitol Steps, and they dug through their archives. And they found this thing. I was like, I know it exists because I heard it on a tape.
Right, you heard it. Yeah.
And they're like, we don't know what tapes are. So but they found it, and they posted it back up on Twitter, so you can probably go find it. But that was maybe 1992, 1991, something like that, when was the Gulf War? 90?
Yeah.
91?
91.
Okay, so it's on that album about, who dropped the bomb on Saddam and all that stuff was in that same thing. And it's from 91, and he's the butt of a joke there as being a scoundrel and a thug. That's 1991. Nobody's... So, okay, I take it back. I don't feel bad for Alina Habba.
Yeah. Look. And now the joke's on us. To be honest, look at it. Look where we're at. We're talking about the joke, right? It was supposed to be it was a joke in the 90s, right?
Speaking of jokes, I don't know if he's from the 90s. Tim Scott. Uncle Timmy.
I mean, that's strong. But I hate kind of what he represents.
Many people are saying.
Like,
well, he now represents something that many people are, which is engaged.
Yes.
Tim Scott is, heavy air quotes, engaged to his, heavy air quotes, fiance.
Stop this.
Who is from Canada and goes to a different school, and you don't know her. Look, when he dropped out of the race, all of a sudden the girlfriend disappeared, and we're all like, where did she go? Because she wasn't politically necessary anymore. But now he endorsed Trump, and he's on the trail, so now she's politically necessary again, and now they're engaged. And Trump even took time out of his New Hampshire speech to be like, and Tim Scott got engaged. That's far more important than any of this, which is a thing that people say.
They're setting up a play for 28, it seems.
Aren't they?
It seems that way.
He's got his nice white fiance, Noche, whatever her name is.
Maybe that's the new way. Maybe we don't have elections. They just keep appointing whoever they want to the next.
He was appointed by Nikki Haley to the Senate.
Yeah. Maybe we just start Trump's like, it was a fun ride, 4 years. I'm
handing it off to Tim Scott.
Handing it off to Tim Scott. I only did 4 years. Not a dictator. You got him. He's black.
Didn't he's in Dement's seat, right?
Yes.
He was, yeah. Who got it from John C. Calhoun? That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the last. Yeah. So it's been
good
3
old
senators from South Carolina.
Good old Calhoun.
One of them was president of the Confederate. No, I'm kidding.
The filibuster kind of.
That's right.
Used it more skillfully than most.
3/5 of the time.
Time.
In September, Tim Scott told Fox News, quote, "I have a wonderful girlfriend, and we have a wonderful relationship. The good news is God has blessed me with a smart Christian woman." That's his main criteria.
Piece of shit, man. That's wrong. But come on, man. That doesn't sound like something that folks say.
No.
When they're in love.
No. It's.
I feel bad saying that.
Don't.
I feel bad because the play for power is wild. I mean, because now I look like we're not a
small club.
It is a small club.
There's Sleepy Ben.
Yes.
There's Sleepy Ben, neighbor Clarence, and Uncle Tim.
Yo,
I don't like it.
Yeah,
Speaking of the big house, I'm
man.
telling you, this smells bad.
With him and Vivek back there.
Yeah.
I was looking at this. I was like, yo,
this is not good.
But yeah, I don't know what it is.
If you're not picking it up from our tone, we don't think that the Republican Party is the right place for these two gentlemen to associate themselves with if they want safety.
The modern day one. Don't start talking about.
Yeah,
Lincoln
we're not talking about the radical Republicans and Reconstructionists and all
Stevens and shit. I love him. Yeah, that's my boy.
That's not the same group.
Charles Sumner, all them. I love them.
No,
I look, but those are not.
Not even Teddy Roosevelt and stuff.
If they were transported right now, they would just have a heart attack and die again. They would literally just, like Thaddeus Stevens came in and looked at the Republican Party and was like, what? Wait.
Frederick Douglass was a Republican.
Exactly,
many people don't know that. A lot of people are talking about it.
A lot of people are talking about it. Soon he's going to be in the ads.
It's right. They're going to put him.
Next month is a prime.
Don't you want to be a Republican like Frederick Douglass?
You know they're going to come up with some fucking AI-generated voice. Oh, damn it, yo. Like, yeah, don't come to me with that fucking shit about.
So that's not what we're talking about. But what we're saying
We're talking about, again, if you want to be his vice president, he tried to kill the other God-fearing vice president.
The last guy.
He's a God-fearing. The other one was a supreme God-fearing man. Guess what?
So God-fearing he banned tampons.
Yep. He was white.
Yeah. This country is rapidly shifting.
They were gonna go. That would have been one of them like full circle moments. God forbid if that had happened. Like, but like, what do you say? Be like,
thoughts and prayers.
So yeah, for the longest time, they only stringing up black people, and then one day, the white people ran down on the other white people and then hung a white person. We're not talking about when that was commonplace. The British
not the
came,
Salem witch trials
exactly.
and stuff. No. We're talking about post KKK.
Yes,
white supremacists.
Rich white folks was trying to
went
hang
after another one of their own.
Rich affluent white folks was trying to go hang
another affluent white guy.
person.
Man
too.
Yeah. I was as shocked as you.
And you know he doesn't touch white women. That's usually why they say that.
No.
Yeah.
He does. Mother would never.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. No. Oh God.
It's
He's
insane.
not even in the same zip code as a woman.
Exactly. I don't know. It's insane. Tim Scott frustrates me, very much. But
please come on the show, Senator. We'd love to have you. Please explain yourself.
He's not. No. What answers is he going to give? That would be insane.
He's going to smile and laugh at us and tell us that we're focusing on the wrong thing. What
you don't understand
That's
is
that's what he always says. He's always misdirecting.
He's going to challenge me. He's like, "Aren't you doing well?" I could see that interview from a mile.
Aren't I doing well? Yes.
Yeah.
In Joe Biden's America, I am.
Exactly.
I'm doing pretty well.
Shit.
Okay, let's take a break.
Right.
When we come back, we're gonna have a whole bunch more of this show. Just already going in a really good direction, apparently.
SRT's coming up next.
Yeah. If you know what that means, you've read the script. And if you haven't, hang on. It's going to be great. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
Dude, America first! America first! Get that through your head! Dude, America first! America first! You heard that before? What? America first! America first! What the hell, man? Dude, America first! America first! To all of you you. Let me explain one damn thing. America, America, America. Dude, you understand? America, America, America. My point is America's first. America, America, America. What the hell, man? Globalists, no. Goblins, no. This is it. Everybody get ready. America first. America first. Get that through your head. Dude, America first. America first. You heard that before? What? America first. America first. Get that through your head. America first. America first. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs.
Place
Welcome back to Chip Chat here on
Face
Beltway
hurts, yo. I
Radio.
cannot not laugh.
And beyond.
Double negative, but fuck.
I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's Bobby out?
That's our favorite segment is watching Tez watch Alex Jones. The frogs one is my favorite one.
Frogs, get that through your head.
I don't like the freaking frogs.
Oh my god, it's just so insane. I'm so fucking face hurts. Woo! Okay, yeah, no, we're back. We're back.
All right. All right, now we've come to a part of the show called Stupid Republican Tricks.
There you go.
This one starts with our favorite Republican governor of the state of Texas. That's Greg Abbott. I don't know if there's other governors of the state of Texas, but he's our favorite Republican one. Fortunately for him, most of Texas is very flat. So, but part of it that isn't is the banks of the Rio Grande. And so here's what happened. Texas was like, hey, we don't like that there's Mexicans coming into Texas. And somebody was like, hey, Texas is a Mexican word. And they're like, shut up. So
Where you live was
where you live, if it weren't for Santa Ana. Okay, so where Texas is Mexico, but Greg Abbott doesn't care about that. So Greg Abbott was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put up barbed wire all along the Rio Grande and in the border zone that is the federal government's responsibility as granted by the Constitution.
right.
Okay, and he calls it Operation Lone Star. Ugh.
Fucking too much. What's the name? Walker Ranger. or
Yeah,
whatever,
these
man.
guys in their little macho fantasies and stuff. Well, to be fair, Greg Abbott can ride on a horse. He just can't walk alongside. Can't walk it out of its paddock.
It's got the,
Somebody's got to deliver the horse to him.
those old like Roman horses where they
Yeah, he
where they
can
sit
ride.
down.
He can strap the horse to his chair and go fast. Yeah,
Chariot.
go.
It's in the name.
There. Look up why it's okay to make fun of Greg Abbott.
It's not.
It is. Okay, so what happened is they put up this barbed wire and stuff, and various people sued.
Guess what? Because it's inhumane. Then how many people have died in this?
Several. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, so, sorry. Yeah.
Case in point, 26,000 pregnancies have happened in Texas since they banned abortion due to rape.
Yes, I saw that. They don't care. You're right.
26,000. 65,000 nationwide. 26,000 of them, half of them, are in Texas, where you can rape, impregnate anybody you want unless you're Greg Abbott and they have stairs. So
Jesus Christ.
what happened was, women, please have stairs. So what happened was they put up this barbed wire.
Right.
People sued. It got up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court goes, oh, yeah, the Constitution says it's up to the federal government to enforce the borders. Texas, you don't have any authority to do this. Knock it the fuck off.
Yeah.
And the decision was handed down in a 5-4. The 4 dissenting were neighbor Clarence, of course, Sam and Alito, Neil Gorsuch, and Beer Can Brett. Which means that Coney Barrett can read.
Yeah.
That's positive.
Or she's just new on the court.
Wants to behave herself in front of Roberts? Unlikely.
I don't know. She's in the new.
I would point out the 4 women and John Roberts were the ones who could read.
Yeah.
The 10th Amendment is pretty clear on this, that all of the powers not specifically designated to the federal government are reserved for the states. But it's also very clear that the borders are specifically the purview of the federal government.
Yeah. Like,
Always.
it's been that way.
Always has been. So, well, what happened then?
Our good old buddy said, fuck that.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Ken Paxton,
No, that's our other buddy.
Chip Roy, who is a congressman from Texas, goes, oh, yeah, we shouldn't follow this. Greg Abbott, just don't listen to him. And I sent that tweet to Tez, and I was like, see, remember how I told you they're just going to, like, fly through court orders? And he goes, no, our institutions are going to be strong. What say you now? Because then
A declaration came out of war.
Then
the war papers came out.
yeah, they wheeled themselves right out in front of the cameras, and it says, we are being invaded. We, Texas, are being invaded. The federal government isn't protecting us. We have a sovereign duty to protect our state from being invaded. Therefore, we're going to ignore whatever the federal government says.
That's not going to go well.
It's pitting the federal border protection, right? The Customs and Border Patrol, the Department of Homeland Security against, ironically, Walker, Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Greg Abbott's really mad he can't be on that show. It's pitting Texas against the federal government, which is not the first time Texas and the federal government have clashed.
That's kind of that's how we got this place.
Pretty
right?
much how we got there, right?
Yeah.
But so I ask you, as I have several times before, I say at some point these guys are going to go, you and what army? That does seem to be what Greg Abbott has offered the federal government. You and what army? For $500, what army, Tez?
The national. So right,
Can't be the Guard.
It can't. Why can't it? If the federal government decides, hey, no, we are coming in. One, you'll have the army that's going to show up no matter what at the end of the day. But can the federal government deputize the National Guard?
They can. Yes, they can nationalize or
it,
federalize the Guard. Yes, but Abbott controls the Guard until that point. And he's already ready to defy a federal order. So if he calls out the Guard to defend his razor wire, and the federal government snaps in and goes, Guard, you're under our control now. You're Army National Guard. We're the Army. We're telling you what to do. And Greg Abbott goes, no. He's already defied. Now he's on 2 federal orders. How many more is he going to defy?
I don't think they want their state, and specifically that area. I mean, I would love for the Army, and hey, our friends in the UN, maybe you could send some of the blue hats as well, too. I'd love for everybody to go down there and come up with a way to let as many of these people in as possible.
So they can buy stuff.
Exactly. So, you know what? But I can't really count on Congress. I thought we were going to get close on it, but you know what? The orange man spoke, and now everybody's flipped again. But whatever. Abbott, let's just say you want to go ahead and, again, defy the federal government. The mechanism that responds to that is the president. The courts have already said it.
At this point, if Biden were to use the executive branch to execute the law as ordered by the courts, that's 2 of the 3 branches. and follows the laws as written by Congress, like, hey, buddy, you on the wrong side of this here fight.
And what are we gonna? I mean, also too, what I don't, and I'm not obviously on the ground in Texas, so I don't know. But like, is this a rallying cry specifically in that area? Like, are people going to come far and wide through Texas? Like,
is it Ruby Ridge?
Like militiamen, like coming to defend Greg? Like, does Greg Abbott have a different army he can? Because that's my thing.
Yeah, he does.
Because my thing is like to the Ruby Bridges thing. Right, like there have been times in this country, many times, where the states say, fuck the federal government.
Eisenhower had to send the army to send 9 kids to school in Arkansas.
And even before that, there have been times, and obviously specifically after the end of slavery, and when you have when the federal government occupies all of these states at that point.
Hayes got elected on the condition that removed the federal troops. Stop occupying the South.
Stop occupying the South, right? I don't think anybody wants to play those games. And
Greg Abbott apparently does.
I don't think his whatever. I don't think he's going to be able to man an army against the federal government.
I don't know. He's really fast on those wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
But like at some point,
I don't think this. I mean, everybody's talking about this is like Sumter or something. I don't think that.
So the only analog I have here is that when the Bureau of Land Management sort of backed down in the face of the Bundys,
yeah,
because they didn't want another Waco.
Yeah,
but at some point,
this is a little because like we can't have people drowning in barbed wire.
You also can't have states deciding when or when they won't follow the Constitution. And we had that once. There was a whole war about it.
All of this shit to it, and also that's why the Supreme Court, it's crazy, like because you almost are kind of invalidating all of this shit that we.
The whole federal system doesn't exist if that's the case, and that is the argument.
If this was the opposite, that's crazy. That would be crazy.
But see, that is the argument that led to secession.
Yeah,
that is exactly that. You might be able to find it on Twitter. There's a great photo of these Texans holding up the letters that spell secede, except they couldn't figure out how to put them in order that spells secede. It's Texas. Look, if the federal government wins in court, we all sort of have come to, basically since the Civil War, we've come to this agreement that when the Supreme Court says, hey, state, you sued, you went to court, you fought your fight, but you lost, you're done, take your marbles and go home.
Right.
We've all agreed to that. Our side's lost several cases. That happens. We go back, regroup, get our legal arguments together, try to fight it out in court another day. The reason we have courts is to avert violence. But in this case, this is the thing. You don't listen when I tell you this, or you don't believe me when I tell you this, and nobody else listens when I say this, but every time I say these kind of things on this show in particular, it turns out that I'm right, and nobody fucking listens. But I'm telling you that this is not something that you've seen before. This is the thing that is different. This is the thing that when the rule of law starts to break down, violence replaces it. And if somebody says, you in what army? And the answer is the U.S. Army, the track record is not great in a peaceful resolution. U.S. Army doesn't do peace at all. Like, not just not very well. Never. U.S. Army doesn't do peace.
I hope you see how surgical these drones are on the Houthis. I'm just telling you, tread lightly.
Oh. That's hilarious.
Just saying. That's all I'm asking for the guy.
Not on me.
I don't look. You know his favorite Big Timers song, Cash Money?
Yeah.
You know Greg Abbott's favorite one?
No, which one?
Everybody Get Your Roll On.
Yes.
Oh, you're a bad influence.
He's wheels up on that one.
Hey.
All right, this story is called Meatball Bud.
This idiot.
Okay, so you'll notice I want to make sure that
Yes.
label the camera. This is
listening audience. He has a red Budweiser King of Beers can. Yep. Genuine.
Just go ahead and narrate for the good folks what one does with a can of beer. Let's see if we can get the sound. Hold on. Let's see if it works.
It's great radio.
Did it come through? It's a little ASMR for the people.
A little bit.
All right, so here's what happened. Meatball Ron dropped out of the race. He lost in Iowa. Well, he didn't win, let's say. And then he had absolutely no shot in New Hampshire because he's never been there. That's true. He's like, what is New Hampshire? And they're like, it's part of Canada. And he's like, well, I'm not going there. So he didn't even want to contest in Canada, and he went.
Should be a state. It should be a state he should be able to get people into.
You'd think,
yeah.
Yeah, because they're plenty racist in New Hampshire, right? And that's his main gig is like, anti-woke. But so whatever. So he decides he's not going to contest New Hampshire, and he's going to drop out, and he's going to do what every Republican's going to do, which is they're going to drop out and end up licking the boots, and he does. He issues this weird speech that also comes with like a video and a bunch of other stuff where he's like, all right, we tried our best and a lot of people had a good time and we made our point and we moved the ball down the field and insert metaphor here and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm endorsing Donald Trump, who called me all of these names and said my wife was stupid and all of this other stuff. Just like Ted Cruz before him and just like Tim Scott and all these other guys, right? Like, they just end up eating Trump's shit.
Spineless.
But what was really interesting was this quote that he had in the end of his video, and he posted it on Twitter and a bunch of other things, which he weirdly attributed to Winston Churchill. Yeah. Okay, here's the quote. "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts," he said as he stopped continuing, which is very funny. So then he said, as Winston Churchill said, and then he said this quote, Winston Churchill never said that. The Winston Churchill Library couldn't find any evidence of this. They searched all their archives, and they've got all the archives. Churchill said a lot of things.
A lot.
Like a lot. This guy wrote in his sleep. I mean, the stories about like this, how much, like Churchill didn't sleep. That was one of the things about him. He drank constantly.
It's a different type of statesman.
But he wrote all the time. He never wrote this set of words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He never assembled those 16 words in that order, which defies the idea of the 1,000 monkeys with 1,000 typewriters idea. It's just not going to happen. Do you know who did actually have this quote? Somebody found it.
Someone found the quote.
I feel
it's good copy for something else.
Maybe they used Google.
Yeah.
Which it seems like the DeSantis people could have used if they weren't busy doing jigsaw puzzles. Which is true. Yeah. I'm not making that up. Go Google it. A 1939 edition of Life magazine. Remember when there were magazines? Yeah. Found on Google Books showed I'm very proud of you for that. That is a great one.
Look, I'm thinking on my feet today.
Unlike Greg Abbott.
There we go. Oh. I lost. I threw up the alley.
Yeah. Don't get A 1939 edition of Life magazine found on Google Books showed the ad from Budweiser, which included the quote used by DeSantis on Sunday. Newsweek reached out to DeSantis' campaign via email, which of course
they still got a comms director that's answering shit.
No, they didn't answer. No. The accidental use of the quote by DeSantis comes after he repeatedly criticized Bud Light and Budweiser's parent company Anheuser-Busch after partnering with Dylan Mulvaney, a transgender influencer and activist. It's all of the things. It's hypocritical Republicans. It's misquoting stuff that they could have easily Googled. It's just like the incompetence. This does not happen on the other side. I just want to be clear about that. Like, it just doesn't happen this way. You don't hear the Biden campaign accidentally attributing a quote to Mahatma Gandhi that was really Easy-E.
The next thing that is gonna end up happening, he's gonna have a fucking Margaret Thatcher quote. From fucking Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And
Well, okay.
Right. Look,
Tory bullshit is Tory bullshit.
Look.
Moving right along.
Moving on.
This segment's called Asian News.
Yes.
We're going to get to your TED Talk later
Yes,
because it's in the
yes,
script.
yes.
Asian News. All right.
That's incredible.
Have you ever run a marathon?
No.
I have. Well,
Lucky you.
half of one.
There you go.
I run a halfie. My wife's run 2 halfies, so
Wow.
she's run several. But
She steps ahead of you.
yeah, I'm like Greg Abbott. So good. I can't run anymore. I had knee surgery and that's
Gotcha.
over
Yeah.
for me. I'm still sort of grieving that. But anyway,
Sucks, yeah.
so distance running is hard.
Yes, really hard.
What could make it harder?
Age.
Sure. Yeah.
Bones. Yeah,
I mean, let's say you were like 52, it's pretty tough. At that point, you're already, you're pushing, but there's a lot of fit 52-year-olds.
Yeah.
But after you run a few miles, you're sucking wind.
Yeah.
Unless you're this Chinese guy, in which case you're sucking Marlboros.
Jesus Christ.
There's a man, he goes by Uncle Chen. He ran this.
Hey, Uncle Chen is a gangster.
The G-Man Marathon in China after earlier this year. Now, when this appeared on the script, I was like, oh, this is an old story because I heard it on Wait, like 2 years ago. Turns out this guy's been doing this for a while.
Just keeps doing this.
This dude runs marathons while chain smoking. Chain smoking.
Now
he's always smoking.
I'm more convinced than ever now because I say that there should be an Olympics of people doing shit while smoking cigarettes.
I'd watch it.
I would watch it.
I would tune in for that.
Have you ever seen like someone just doing something like that's normal? Whether they're fixing a car, they could be picking up trash, whatever it is, doing with a cigarette. I don't know. I don't smoke cigarettes. It looks cool when people are doing shit smoking cigarettes. That is a terrible public service announcement.
No,
But
yeah,
sorry.
you're a bad influence.
Yeah.
The Marathon Committee issued a statement announcing the disqualification. He was DQ'd, obviously, for doing this, saying that he violated the rules and regulations. The rule 2.12 states, quote, uncivilized behavior from runners, such as open defecation. That was the number one thing to get you DQ'd.
The number one. What's the number one answer on the board? That's what it is.
Just listen to the things that are in this category. Open defecation, smoking, or trampling of flower beds or green spaces that affect the race and or safety of the other runners is a result in disqualification.
Ain't you already like affecting the safety of other runners? Aren't they already affected by running in China?
I mean, smoking might make the air a little cleaner.
Yeah.
All right, Uncle Chen crossed the finish line just 5 minutes slower than his 3:28 finish from 2 years ago, which is why I remembered the story. I know people who are in good shape who can't finish a marathon in 3:28. And he placed 574th out of more than 1,500 runners total.
If I smoke a cigarette, I'll probably die.
Yeah.
Like not running, like just two drags of it.
He ran another marathon in 2018, which he completed in 3 hours and 36 minutes while he was smoking. I mean, this guy's been doing this for a while. Why are they DQing him?
Yeah, it's interesting that China, like this
Also, in like the smoking rate amongst men in China is like nearly 100%. Yeah. It's massive. They're all smoking American cigarettes. USA.
Thanks, Nixon.
Hey, you got us pandas. We got new pandas coming.
To San Diego, right? They're going with
They're going with Jimmy.
Jimmy. You know he's not going there.
No,
But
we're gonna get our pandas. We're gonna get new pandas. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Biden is focused on the important things.
That's the way we seal the election. The election is sealed. He seals November.
Canceled student loans and brought you pandas.
Pandas come
Vote
back.
Biden.
It's good. It is better. Like it's better for the DC. We could use that shit.
We need our pandas.
It's looking like.
You could just bring us any pandas. We can't tell them apart. They all look exactly the same, and that's not racist. Pandas all look alike.
They do.
Literally interchangeable. Even they can't tell each other apart. That's
We
true.
can Rent the elder pandas from the West Coast.
Yeah, just
It's kind of,
kind of shift them around a little bit. Hey, look over there. It's pandas.
pretty sure it costs millions of dollars to transport. them.
Just
But,
paint a polar bear.
You can find them walking through your backyard.
Yeah,
at
they're
this point.
yeah.
They're freaking walking to your
Maryland polar bears.
Exactly. They've come
That's the
south.
new name for your football team, Brian. The Maryland Polar Bears instead of the Ravens. It's a little less offensive. All right.
What do you mean? Edgar Allan Poe?
No, we
I'm
get
just
why
joking.
they're the
I'm just-
Ravens. Making a joke about racist people. All right.
Oh, that's fine.
This one's called "Youth is Wasted on the Old and Fat." You want to guess how old Kim Jong-un is?
Yeah, that was interesting.
He just turned 40.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
maybe.
Not even sure about that.
No, that's 40. That's 40.
I'm older than him, and I think he does not look that. If you put me and him, 2 photos of us together, and you ask which of us is older,
No, it's definitely. Sorry, you.
oh, no loyalty.
I'm just saying, but it
Not even for the premise of the joke, you
That's-
couldn't even keep it together.
No, I went for a different joke.
Calling me old and decrepit is not that funny. Everybody knows that already.
Next to a dictator is hilarious.
Okay, fair. He's had gout several times. I haven't. It's a rich man's
I was gonna
disease.
say exactly. That tells you a lot right there. You know, he owns a nation.
Yeah,
You own a station.
Nation. Oh,
I might never drink again.
I'm only a third though.
That's true.
Yeah,
Partnership.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
All right, so Kim is 40 maybe, and
Maybe.
and he has kids. We know he has
Yes.
kids, but here's this weird photo of him and his daughter looking at chickens.
That's what they were looking at?
Mhm.
Chickens, okay.
Brian, put the photo back up so we can look at the chickens too. The chickens are so
You know,
yeah.
they look. Those chickens do look nervous.
Yeah, they do. Those are nervous
Those
birds.
ones are nervous. I don't blame you. Fucking me on a rocket somewhere.
Chicken powered ICBM.
Might go far.
We're
Go
look,
further.
we're out here eating chickens. The North Koreans are grinding them into rocket fuel. Who knows? They would work. Many people are saying, "Little Rocket Man." So Little
Beautiful
Rocket,
letter.
Little Rocket Man in his beautiful letter is 40. Speaking of which, actually, there was some question about.
Don't tell me like Trump going over there for his party.
No, there was about the letter and that they can't find it
Of course
'Cause-
not.
because Trump took it with him.
Yes, that's the only thing. Yeah, that's probably like his most prized heirloom from fucking the presidency.
So one of the things is that they don't know how old he is because maybe his mom is from Japan. Nobody knows who his mom is.
Right. Yeah.
Because they know who his father and his grandfather are.
Yes.
Both his father and his grandfather's birthdays are national holidays, but nobody knows exactly when Kim Jong-un's birthday is because it's never been published. And the North Koreans are, there's like heavy caveat on this, understandably uncool with the Japanese. If you wonder why Koreans don't like Japan, go check out a book at the library and you know, RE massive destruction and colonization and fucking imperialist awfulness.
That little island, that island gets busy.
Sushi is Korean. It's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. If you're Korean, north, south, otherwise, maybe you don't want to like have a lot of association with Japan. I get that. But like, why isn't he making his birthday a holiday? Why is he not increasing the cult? He's making it his dad and his grandfather's cult. It's not him.
Yeah, that is kind of a weird.
That's not the play I would make as benevolent dictator. My birthday
is. So look here.
That's a
School's is
holiday.
out, everybody.
School's out, fireworks for everybody,
Party.
free beer.
It's a party.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I want to stay in power, my birthday probably happens 3 times a year, and there's free beer every time.
Yeah. People have to look forward to it.
They want to look forward to
Yeah,
it.
not this one.
We're barbecuing.
Yeah.
Like for my birthday as a federal holiday, the entire southeastern part of the country is off work for a month.
One day when we have a huge, one day when we have a huge staff on this show, I'm gonna tell someone to go and put your face on your face on him, and then have the chickens around there, or maybe we'll have some steers and a big ass cow with you just looking over your cows. It's like it's barbecue time.
Damn right. So like everybody in the southeastern quadrant of the country is going to be off of work with only one task, which is man the smokers. We're going to have ribs, we're going to have brisket, we're going to have chicken, we're going to have everything. And when I say man the smokers, I mean to do it in the style of your dear leader, which is mostly just hang around and drink beer. For a month.
Sounds like a job.
It's a commandment.
Commandment. That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. You want to talk about some baseball money things?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of beat this over the. I'm always talking about these nationals and yeah.
Look at these dead ass birds.
You hit it out of the
There it is.
park.
Look at that. And the way that the Nationals got here, and your friends up in Baltimore that you do like, I think the Orioles.
I do.
Yeah, that TV deal has.
You should sort of set this up.
I guess I'll set this up a little bit, right? Before the National, or when they agreed, I guess Baltimore really agreeing to allow another market to come here.
They had to do something with the Expos.
Yeah, they had, but the Expos, they technically could have went somewhere else, but they wanted somewhere here.
The league had to take over the Expos because they were failing financially.
Yes.
So what are you going to do with the Expos? And then the consensus agreement amongst the owners was move them to Washington.
Right, move them to Washington.
And Washington basically built them a stadium, offered them a whole deal and all that stuff. And people in Baltimore, well, the Angelos family, Pete Angelos, was like, hey, man, that's half my market.
Fuck that.
It was. I am that.
Yeah.
I am that DC kid who is an Orioles fan.
I was.
Continue on.
So,
Traitor.
right. That's fine. You can call me that. That's okay. Again, it's okay over
Traitor.
here. I can be a traitor. But again, what you have to also know about them coming here is that the TV deal, if you see Masson was created for this reason, right? And it was to, one, be able to broadcast the Nationals, but also to broadcast the Orioles, and for the Orioles to, again, run that agreement. I think the flip of it is like something 70-30 in the sense of like the breakdown.
Well, it's 50-50.
It's 50-50, but again, I was going to say, it's not even.
It wasn't.
It's not even.
So the deal is basically that the Orioles own the TV network that broadcasts the Nationals.
Right.
And so when the Nats get a TV contract, half of that money goes to the Orioles. That's just how that works. Because the Nats came in and cut the Orioles market in half. That was the deal that everybody agreed to.
It's a stupid deal.
I do believe they agreed to it.
It's a dumb, and people agree to dumb deals all the time.
They did.
They agree to dumb deals all the time. And again, it also is how they do this around like the markets. So the Washington market is like in the top 10.
Yeah, it's number 8.
Yeah, number 8. In Baltimore,
number 28.
Number 28.
But we have a team and you don't.
Okay. That's insane.
That was the position in 1999 or whatever.
I mean, but again, the reason why this is really frustrating is that if you're not, there's no way for the Nationals really to succeed in the sense of having enough money to keep players or go out and get free agents. Like, it's very difficult.
Somehow they won a World Series during the time of Masson, and the Orioles have not.
But, I mean, that's like a lot of luck.
Is it?
I mean, yes, Juan Soto
it's
on that
also
contract.
Having a great GM.
Yes, I mean, we lucked
Rizzo.
up. Rizzo, yes. God bless Rizzo. We'll follow him to wherever he wants to take us on that. We'll do it again. But we should have, there's no reason that this team should have got rid of Harper, again, there's no reason for that.
You couldn't afford them.
And this TV deal is because of that.
Brian has thoughts. Brian and I are going to align on this one.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
No, finish your thought. I want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish your dumb Expos thought.
Okay. It's a shit deal. It should not be allowed. Again, it should be competition, right?
Is it rigged?
I'm not gonna say it's rigged because we agree. Because but the owners agreed on this, which
they did.
It's like it was the owners own the.
Well, the owners was baseball at the time.
Yes.
So it wasn't even really the learners yet.
No, exactly. And it's like, all right, well, I understand it because you couldn't do shit with the Montreal Expos there. Canada is not fucked. They were not. There's no new stadium that was getting built there.
Nope.
That shit was dead. Move the motherfuckers somewhere else at that point if we're gonna be hamstringed by this shit. At that, like, again, I find this shit to be insane. Or change the way, allow us to be treated as a low market team as well.
Okay. How long is the deal going to be? Because it seems like it sounds like
I don't know where the end of it is.
It doesn't. They fought.
I don't think it ends.
I don't think
There's
it's
supposed to be
ending.
an ending soon. But the thing is, because with the learners selling it, that is what's pretty much preventing a lot of new owners coming in.
Who wants to get? Yeah.
Because of the TV deal. I understand that complaint. But the thing is, initially when this was signed up, pretty much is like you said, Major League Baseball owned the Expos. They pretty much is like, hey, we want to move them here to where there's already a marketplace. You know, at the time, if they moved it down to Carolina, we wouldn't have this conversation. But
No, exactly. Oh no,
but,
yeah, no. It'd be
But
completely
the
different.
thing is, since you're moving into a place where it's been crying for baseball, and I think for Anthony Williams bringing in here, so you pretty much is like, okay, yeah, you have to sweet talk the Orioles and the Angelos to sort of like, hey, we're bringing a market into your space. Are you okay with that? Knowing full well, one, he's a dickhead, and every Baltimore fan base does
Angelos
not like him.
is one of the
It's
worst.
horrible. But the thing is the fact that, okay, yeah, if him agreeing to this, knowing full well is like, as long as I'm getting money back, fine. If there was an actual owner moving the Expos out to this place, yeah, this
Nobody
would
never
be
would have
happening.
agreed.
There's no way.
It would not be happening. And at the same time, the fact is like, for you stating the fact that the Nationals are a minor league, or I'm sorry, a small market club, is then you can say the same thing about the Pirates. You're going to say the same thing about the Padres. You're going to say the same things about the Marlins. You're going to say the same thing about the Royals. You're going to pretty much think of them as a major league, minor league team, because all the top players they're going to get, they bring in, and they're going to unfortunately cannot keep them because they can't financially do it. A lot of teams do that.
That's why you need salary cap.
Yeah. So they've been trying. So the thing is, the Orioles, same issues.
Or an owner who just wants to spend.
If there was an owner who wants to spend,
Mets.
I mean, yeah. But the thing is like
Didn't work, but he spends money.
Hasn't done anything.
He spends money. He spends money.
Yeah. So, but the thing is one of the issues going to be is the stadium, because really he probably doesn't like staying where it is, and figure the fact is like, okay, I want it bigger, better, whatever. But where are you going to place that? And that stadium's only been there for less than a decade.
It's like fifth. What? It came in 2005, or no? Yeah, they came 2005. Stadium opened to what? The 2008 season, I want to say, right? So recession season.
15 years.
Yeah, recession season. 15 years.
Yeah. So, but the point is,
it's a fucking new stadium. It's only a fucking real estate deal. That's all you're trying to get.
Right. But
they don't need a new stadium yet.
But the thing is, the learners built that. So once the learners took control of the Nats, they get their stadium, they get everything else, they win a World Series before the Orioles do, which still pisses me off. But the thing is like, they do it with a minor league, pretty much, you say, a small market budget, because they get rid of Harper. Harper still hasn't won a World Series. As great a player he is, and you figured it's like that is your caveat to bring in people. No, you pretty much had a whole bunch of guys who came from other teams.
How's Mad Max done since he left?
Yeah.
But those drive people into the stadium. Like, first of all, he's a great of all time.
Nobody makes money off ticket sales in the stadium.
But again,
it's a
to
TV
keep
deal.
interest in at a certain point, though, if people aren't fucking coming to the stadium, they can be good as gone again.
If they're tuned in, that it's just as good.
Yeah. Here, the thing is with the Nats is this. One, they, as of, during these 25 years they've been here, pretty much the thing is the fact that I still view them as the Montreal Expos. they should never left Montreal. And I'm still surprised that there is a group up in Canada, especially in Montreal, who wants the Expos back. And I feel like Major League Baseball is missing the opportunity to do that. You only have one Canadian team, and that's the second one, not the first. And that's your misconception of this. And I feel like with his modern day, commissioner we got, he doesn't, as much as he thinks about possible expansion, if you don't have another team up in Canada, and especially in Montreal, you're missing the boat.
Well, now this has turned into Save fucking Canada.
Because really, no,
Save Canada.
No, the thing is,
poor Canadians.
They have pink money. Stop saving
them.
them.
Save them.
But no, the thing
your
is,
side.
But the thing
this is he's waving his flag for us to now have a Montreal
what he's
team
doing
again.
is he's waving
Maybe they
his
should
flag
move the goddamn Orioles to Tennessee.
Hey,
like I said before.
Exactly.
Hey, and then all of this shit will be fixed. Actually, you know what? I have come up with a solution. There it is. You know what we do? We move the Orioles to Tennessee. The market is open. Hey, Baltimore fans, the Mark train works both fucking ways. Guess what? So does 95. Come on down. You can come fill our stadium up. That's what you can do. Another issue in this goddamn article here is that the fact that the Nationals did not and still do not have a small market team designation ends up costing them the number 1 draft pick this year after the lottery ball popped up for the Nats and it was voided because per the rules, the Nats cannot pick earlier than number 10 as a large market team. It can't fuck you on the fucking draft and then fuck you on keeping players.
Wait, you're telling me that even with this TV deal that the Nats aren't still making money hand over fist compared to Pittsburgh or Kansas City? They are.
Because they're by themselves.
But again, the TV deal is what drives money.
It's not just the TV deal. There's so many. Official plumber of the Washington Nationals costs whoever it is that pays for that several million dollars.
You know why the Dodgers can do that? Not because of their fucking endorsements. You know why they can buy everybody? Because they have the best fucking TV deal in the league. That's why. That's the reason they can do it.
Them and the Yankees.
And what have they been doing with their TV deal?
Nothing.
Well, but they keep signing people to record. Where's Juan Soto? Where is he?
How much is Judge making?
As much as you have the biggest financial.
Bring the great players with my great GM. I think we can do great things.
But you're not.
You're not. You financially can't handle that. You can't.
Why?
Not because of the TV deal.
No.
Keep telling me why is that? Why?
Because the owners are billionaires and you're talking about this TV deal. That's ridiculous.
But now you're asking the owners to go into their own pockets, which we know none of these owners want to do.
The Marlins did it twice. They bought 2 World Series. And that I'm not saying that that's the model for this, but what I'm telling you is, first of all, this idea that the Orioles are ever going to leave Baltimore is absolutely nuts.
Tennessee, baby.
By far one of the least newsy stories was the re-signing of the lease on Camden for 30 years. Camden is a 100-year park. All right? Not only do the Orioles not need a new stadium, we don't want a new stadium. We want to be in Camden Yards the way the Red Sox are at Fenway for centuries. People are going to talk about that. Camden is great. You want a good ballpark? Build one. Yours sucks.
I want a World Series. Got one.
You got
I'm
one.
good with that.
We've got 3 of them, and
Enjoy
that's cute.
It. It's been a long time.
That's nice.
It's been a long time.
But there's 3 is more than 1.
When is your last World Series?
You're out here crying about getting your money and stuff, and now you're talking about we've got a World Series. I'm talking about we got 3 of them.
Build a better park. What
I'm telling you,
that's not the story.
Stop crying. Yo, dude, ride your championship for 30 years or whatever the fuck you told me to do.
Okay, exactly. Yeah,
your whole situation doesn't make any sense. Yes, you cut the market for the Orioles in half. The people like me who grew up in D.C., who are what? No.
Now it's anti-American.
How is that American
a business comes in here. A business is here and now has to go share with another business.
A smarter business negotiated a better deal and cut the other one out.
But it's not like they negotiated it. It's a closed negotiation with the fucking league.
Then you should leave. Go ahead. I hear Tennessee's looking for a team.
Yeah, I hope
right. I bet you they build you a stadium right next to that monstrosity where the fucking Titans play.
Oh, they're building a new one.
For the Titans?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah. It'll be over
They've
$1
only
billion.
been there for like 5 years.
Land deals,
Yeah,
man.
they're building a new one, and they're trying to get. But the whole point here is
Are they building it in Houston?
They wish with their retro
Be really funny.
jerseys. The thing is like, look, as long as the Nats are going to be successful in some form or fashion, but financially, yeah, it was a bad deal because
It's gotta end.
But again, based off the situation that was happening at the time, you had to take it. And Anthony, like I said, Anthony Williams wanted the Nats to come, pretty much the Expos to come here. He wanted a baseball back. And the way baseball was structured, they were not planning on expanding.
At least he didn't spend it on dog parks.
Yeah. So as long as I mean, be happy for what you got.
Oh,
yes,
God,
it is
No, Brian, we can't be that. Don't be that
Oh,
one.
my God.
What I'm saying is like
I could have no team. I could still be here.
No,
upset.
not the incremental. Let's not be that. Look, negotiate yourself a better TV deal. Get your own TV station and do it.
No. Get a new owner first, and then hopefully once because the Angelos they're trying to sell it off the Orioles anyway.
Yeah, they want to get rid of it.
So once you have the new owners in Baltimore, get a new owner for the Nats. Pretty much, I think they can work out a better deal for both
There's no
clubs.
buyout at this point. Like, yo,
I don't know what the terms of this contract are, but at some point, either it ends or you just, I don't know. I mean, set up your own TV network.
I don't know if they're allowed.
They can if the new ownerships if there's new ownerships coming in for both teams, you can work out a new
Ted's
deal
gonna buy
where
this
you
shit
have
and
to
everything.
separate
They're all
They're
going to
gonna be
be
at
on
Potomac
Monumental.
Yard too. They're gonna go.
Monumental's got their own TV
If
station.
Exactly.
They're already ready to go.
That's why. Yeah, that's why we do. Now
So if Leonsis buys it, then you're good to go. Then you're out from under this.
And then my stadium gets moved to fucking Virginia. It's gonna happen. I see it. That's why I'm like, damn it. I'm
the
like
Potomac Nationals.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, don't they already have it? Isn't there a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
bunk there? Where I think
Yeah,
they have that?
the Cannons,
Yeah.
Prince William Cannons.
Fuck.
They could be the Yunkin Nationals.
Carry
All
the
right,
fuck on. Carry the fuck on.
Speaking
This
of
is
things that
insane.
nobody cares about, the Stanley Cup thing.
Nobody cares about. That's not true.
Okay, so there's the real Stanley Cup, which is the thing the Caps won in 2018, which feels
I
to
was
me
so
very
confused.
recently, but it turns out that was like 7 years ago.
Nah, yeah.
But there's a new Stanley Cup. Did you know about this?
I thought these suburban moms were just learning. I don't know. I thought
like-
it was the other stuff. I did not know this until
I was
looked
shocked
into
to
it.
find out that people were like obsessing over, I don't know, stainless steel tumblers, which you go to a lot of conferences.
Yeah,
I go to a lot of conferences.
Yeah,
This is the currency of conferences.
it's crazy.
You have to bring an
It's
extra
crazy.
suitcase with you for all the goddamn water bottles and tumblers that people are going to hand
It's
you.
crazy.
I don't want any more of
No
these. I have
more.
700 of these fucking tumblers. I could build an entire addition onto my house out of these
Yes.
goddamn tumblers. But for some reason, people really want them, and they're going to pay a lot of money for them. Somebody stole $2,500 worth of them, 65 of them, from a store in California. Look at
It's
all
like
these.
when they usually put kilos and shit out, they got fucking tumblers out.
You know, this looks like my kitchen counter. I've got these things sitting there for like the kids to take with them to school. Like, get
Pick one.
out of my house. And I hope they lose them.
Give one away.
I
Leave it
give
outside.
so many away. My friends, they bring them back. I hate that. Hey, you left this over at my house. I meant to leave it at your house. Like, stop this. Who are these
Star
people?
Trek Tribble?
Why is yeah, right? What is this $2,500 worth of these fucking cups?
It was like the special edition. Didn't they like Target did something with like maybe it was Starbucks like this? Like people were rushing like
Why?
because again that social currency and like the women who did this when I forgot where I was listening to the story about the women who did this is insane. Like they reached out to Stanley and they were like, "Yo, we can make this pop." Like it just shows you the internet and like
Are you telling me that consumer spending matters in the economy
yeah,
and
especially
that it's up
and there's like a clout economy too that drives consumer spending.
and a bird gang in a city?
Yeah.
This is stupid. Why are people like obsessing? Go to a conference. Go to one conference.
This to me seems like, yo, let's ride this into November. Keep buying these goddamn cups.
This is like Beanie Babies.
Yeah, but for fucking
for suburban white women. I don't know how to tell you this, Tez. But Beanie Babies were also for suburban white women.
But nah, Beanie Babies were at least kids would get those too.
No.
Yeah, kids had Beanie Babies.
No.
Yes, they did.
I was a kid that during that time. No.
You were not a kid during that time.
I was like a teenager.
No,
I knew kids.
You're being generous. I'm going back to what we
Welcome
said
to
earlier.
old people chat.
Exactly. Elder chat.
I stand by my statement that I don't like you.
That's fine.
All right, so this is not the Stanley Cup.
This is not the new Stanley Cup.
I heard. Yeah, well, maybe. Don't worry, the Caps can't win this one either. We're so bad.
Yeah.
I think Ovi should retire.
That's not. Yeah.
He can be the next mayor. I'd vote for him. I don't live in the district, but I'd vote for him.
You'd vote for him, though, somehow.
100%.
Somehow you'd go there.
In Mother D.C.
Mother DC.
Puck shoots you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't buy these cups. They arrested a bunch of these people. I don't know.
We want people to buy the cups. We don't want you to steal them.
Don't steal things.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Unless you need them. Like food, though.
I'll tell you about that off air. But
you need to go steal, like, I don't know.
Don't steal food. If you need food, call the show. Tez's number is 301 761 1040.
Steal the food.
They're going to write it off anyway. Yeah.
Not like I'm giving bad advice tonight.
You are. You're on a streak. Well, look at the time. We're close to the end of the show.
We are. The new end of the show.
Now, according to the script, we've got 67 minutes left of makeup time to fill to make sure that Brian doesn't get to go home.
We want to see from back in the day where the fucking signal just cut off. That'll be what happens tonight. Exactly. The signal is just gone.
Test pattern.
Exactly. It's done.
Play the anthem, go to sleep.
Yep. There it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of anthems, here's our anthem. So we've come to the end of the show, which you can tell because there's music playing behind us if you're listening. Maybe you can.
And if we did have music playing, it would sound like this.
For Beltway Radio and beyond. All right. Oh, it's our new theme song. All right. Thanks to our radio partners. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Yahoo. One of those is true. Thanks to NOTN for existing still. Though I did check this week, we are not in the lineup anymore. But we would be happy to be back, so please give us a call.
We shout you out every week.
Yeah, we've been for 9 years. No, I'll call them.
I was going to say, who the hell we got to call for that?
They just forgot to download the show this week. No, we're off their list, but they're very churchy.
You ruined that when you showed those wonderful women that fucking Alex Jones.
We were already way off before that. Yeah. Thanks to our home on the interwebs, coplaymedia.com. Shout out to After Midnight, by the way. It's back. I love this show. I loved it when it was called At Midnight and it was on Comedy Central. I love the idea of making fun of the internet. Taylor Tomlinson's fantastic. Please go watch this show. You can look at it on YouTube. It's in like playlists for each episode. And Colbert is the executive producer.
Okay.
Dynamite television. Anyway, okay. Thanks as always to our family here at Beltway Radio for making us sound as smooth as Tim Scott's wedding night. All right, where can everybody get you on the socials?
You can find me on that Hellscape X. That Hellscape. But I found my way on there to find
give me shit.
At DC Cortez, you can find me on Instagram at Ketchum Cordy, and you can find me being a flaming liberal on Blue Sky at DC Cortez, which I haven't posted in a while.
Yeah, I forgot to go on Blue Sky like the last 6 months. All right, you can
Federated Network.
Yeah, you can find me on the and the show on the Twitter.
Yes,
which I still call it the Twitter. at ChipChat RR, and you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Rip ChipChat, and you can, of course, find us every Thursday night here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm Chip, that's Tez, that's Brian. You've been listening to ChipChat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
San Diego Superchargers.
With high voltage play.